Hello. My name is Emily Ranney, and I will be talking to you today about AV strategies and why we use them to help our kiddos who have hearing differences. So let's start by talking about the most pressing topic. What is an AV strategy? So an AV stands for auditory verbal, and we use that for auditory verbal therapy. This is something we use with children who have a hearing difference or hearing loss. It's a way to primarily focus on hearing to address the development of language. Now, this may seem pretty daunting. So how do we do that? There are multiple strategies we can use to address AV therapy. These strategies can include listen first, auditory discrimination, acoustic highlighting, redundancy, perception production loops, auditory memory, auditory sandwich, and sign support. I know that sounds like a lot of things and that might be a little daunting, so we're only going to focus on two today. And the two I have chosen to work on for the activity includes listen first and acoustic highlighting. So let's get into it. Let's first start talking about what is listening first. When we say listening first, we're talking about having our kiddos rely on hearing first more so than another cue. We use multiple cues in therapy, including tactile cues, visual cues, physical cues. Usually when we listen first, we're taking away that other cue and we are just focusing on that auditory cue. For example, if I have a stuffed bear right here, instead of going, look, a bear, I might say, I think we found a bear. What did we find? It says grr, and it's a bear. What did we find? A bear. You're right. It was a bear. So now that isn't the activity I planned, but that's just an example. And that's a way to allow the kids to really depend on their auditory skills to listen to what we heard rather than the visual skill or the visual cue. So we will be using that in our activity today. So hang tight and then I will show you how to do that. Another thing we'll be looking at is acoustic highlighting. Now, acoustic highlighting is kind of what it sounds like. We are highlighting or putting an emphasis on a word that we want to maybe develop into our vocabulary more, expose as a part of language. It is what we are focusing on in this sentence. So let's take the bear again. So instead of saying, this is a bear, there's no highlighting there. You can't tell what I am emphasizing. If I say this is a bear, there's nothing. So we're going to highlight the word bear since that is the main subject of our conversation. So how to do that? There are three ways. One, we can make the key word or the subject louder. For example, this is a bear. This is a bear. As we can tell, my volume went way up there and allowed that bear to be highlighted. Another thing that we can do is we can change the intonation of the sound or the word. So instead of saying, here is the bear, we can say, here is the bear. Here is the bear. Here's the bear. As you can tell, my speech or my sound kind of goes up and then down. Bear. So adding that kind of intonation change or pitch change allows for us to really highlight that sound or that word. Lastly, we can pause right before we say the word for about 1 Mississippi. So instead of saying, here is the bear, I can say, here is the bear. All right. In my head, I'm going, here is the 1 Mississippi bear. Okay. It gives the kid a minute or a reminder that, oh, here's the word coming up. We're pausing and there it is. That's what I'm focusing on. So that's how you acoustic highlight. Now, how do we combine it all together to help our kiddos? Before moving forward, I want to say that this activity is targeted for kiddos who are younger in the preschool to early elementary stage, okay? So if this doesn't seem like an appropriate activity for your child, you can modify it as you would like. But again, this is going to be for the preschool age range child. So for this activity, you're going to need animal manipulatives. I live in a house where my family has collected Disney stuffed animals since the early 90s. So we have a lot of animals from the Disney franchise around the house. So for me, I was able to grab a mouse, a dog, a bear, a reindeer, and a sheep. So I was able to grab those. Maybe that doesn't work in your family. Maybe you can find manipulatives or pictures, or you can print something out from the internet, or you could always draw an animal. I'm always a big fan, if you have the skill, draw an animal such as a fish, a cat, a dog. Doesn't need to be fancy, just something where the child knows what it is. You will also need a basket. You can use any basket around the house. This had nothing in it and was just a wicker basket as decoration. So I'm using this. You can also use a laundry basket. So the premise of this game or this activity is you're going to tell your child that the animals have escaped from the zoo or the farm or the aquarium, whatever animal area you would like to use, go for it. I'm really big about creativity and making activities interactive. And so if you would like to make this a full-on scavenger hunt, go right ahead. My only caveat is you as a communication partner have to be in control of the object or the animal, okay? It can't be sitting where the child can just grab it or see it and run to it. You can pretend to look like I'll be doing here, or you can look around your house and say you have a small manipulative. Here's a manipulative Pluto, because like I said, I have them all over my house. Let's say he's in my jacket pocket. The kids cannot see it, but I can see it. And I think I found a dog. A dog. After the child says it. So you kind of get my gist there. We are using the manipulatives, but we need to be in control, and they cannot see the manipulatives before. Why is that? We're using listening first. We don't want the child to get the visual cue right away. So I'm going to show you an example of how we can use listening first in this activity, okay? Here we go. Oh, my animals, they escaped from the zoo. We need to find them. Can you help me find them? All right, let's go looking. Let's go searching for animals. Up and down and all around and oh, I think I found an animal. Oh, I think I found a dog. I found a dog and it goes bark, bark. What did I find? A dog. You're totally right. Here's our dog. That is great. We found our dog. Okay, you can put him back in the zoo. And at that point, I would reward the child with the animal and they could place it back in the enclosure. Another way to do this is acoustic highlighting. So we found a dog. So instead of saying we found a dog, I'm going to say we found a dog. We found a dog. How exciting. What did we find? A dog. Great job. So as we can see, I was highlighting that dog part of my sentence. You can do this until all the animals are captured. Like I said, I had 5 around me until they're all put in the zoo and you're all done. So with that being said, that is my activity. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I would love to help you. But thank you for listening and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.